It's evening in Chicago, 2025. Jake, a devoted father of two, hears from his wife Laura, "I'm pregnant, but it's not your child." The shocking truth reveals a secret plan that Laura and her sister have been hatching behind his back. Will Jake be able to protect his family from this betrayal and find justice without losing himself? Jake Rivers pulled into the driveway of his Oak Park home, the Chicago suburbs humming with the quiet of a March evening in 2025. The streetlights flickered on as he killed the engine, his shoulders heavy from a long day troubleshooting circuit designs at the engineering firm. At 38, he was good at fixing things, circuits, code, even the occasional toy for his kids, Emma, 9, and Liam, 6. But nothing could have prepared him to fix what was coming. Inside, the house smelled of pizza, the kids' favorite Friday treat. Emma bounded over, her braids swinging, and hugged him tight. "Dad, you're late." Liam ate half the pepperoni. Liam, sprawled on the couch with a game controller, grinned sheepishly. "It was good," he mumbled. Jake chuckled, ruffling his son's hair, and glanced at Laura, his wife of 12 years, leaning against the kitchen counter, scrolling her phone. She barely looked up, her thumb flicking across the screen with that distant air she'd had lately. "Rough day?" Jake asked, grabbing a slice. Laura shrugged, not meeting his eyes. "Same old." Her voice was flat, like she was already halfway out of the room. Jake let it slide. Marriage had its ebbs and flows, and with 2 kids and her marketing job, they were often ships passing in the night. He focused on Emma's chatter about her art project, savoring the normalcy. After dinner, the kids scampered upstairs to brush their teeth. Jake cleared the table, expecting Laura to join him for their usual debrief, a quick catch-up before collapsing into bed. Instead, she stayed glued to her phone, her silence louder than usual. He was about to ask what was wrong when she set the phone down, crossed her arms, and said the words that would crack his world open. "I'm pregnant, Jake. But it's not yours." The room seemed to tilt. Pizza box still in hand, Jake froze, his mind scrambling to process. "What?" His voice came out hoarse, like he'd been punched. He set the box down, staring at Laura, waiting for a laugh, a gotcha, anything to signal this was a bad joke. But her face was blank, almost defiant, her brown eyes locked on his. "It's for Kate," she said, as if that explained everything. Kate, her older sister, lived 10 minutes away in Bucktown with her husband, Tom. The couple had been vocal about their fertility struggles, always dropping hints about needing a miracle. Jake's stomach twisted. "You're what?" "A surrogate," he managed, his voice rising despite his effort to stay calm. Laura nodded, leaning back against the counter. "Yeah, Kate and Tom can't have kids. You know that. So I'm helping them. It's perfect. She's my sister. It's practically her DNA." She said it with a faint smile, like she expected a pat on the back. Jake's head spun. "Hold on. You're pregnant right now? With their kid? And you didn't tell me?" His hands clenched, the betrayal sinking in like a slow poison. They'd always talked big decisions, buying the house, changing jobs, even getting a dog. This wasn't just a decision. It was a bomb. "I'm telling you now," Laura said, her tone sharpening. "It's my body, Jake. My choice. I don't need your permission." The words hit like a slap, not because of the sentiment, but the casual dismissal. She'd planned this, gone to a clinic, made arrangements, all behind his back. "We're married, Laura," he shot back, stepping closer, his voice low but trembling. "This isn't just about you. This affects me, the kids, our whole life. How could you not talk to me first?" His mind raced. Images of doctor visits, contracts, Tom's smug grin. How long had this been going on? Laura rolled her eyes, crossing her arms tighter. "I knew you'd freak out like this. That's why I waited. But it's happening, Jake, whether you like it or not." Her defiance was a wall, unyielding. Jake stared at her, the woman he'd built a life with, and felt a chasm open between them. He'd always admired her fire, but this was different, cold, calculated, like he was an afterthought. "You planned this for weeks? Months?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "With Kate and Tom? And I'm the last to know." He laughed, a sharp, bitter sound. "My wife's carrying another man's kid, and I'm supposed to just nod and smile." "It's not Tom's kid like that," she snapped. "It's a medical thing, a donation. You're making it a bigger deal than it is." But her words rang hollow. Jake shook his head, turning away, his hands gripping the counter to steady himself. Upstairs, he heard Emma giggling, oblivious to the storm brewing below. "This isn't how marriage works," he said, facing her again. "You don't get to decide our life without me. You chose them over us." His voice cracked on the last word, the weight of it crushing him. Laura's jaw tightened, her eyes narrowing. "If you can't handle this, maybe we need to rethink things." The ultimatum hung in the air, sharp and final. Get on board or get out. Jake stared at her, searching for the woman he'd loved, the one who'd laughed with him at 2 a.m. over diaper disasters, who'd danced with him at their wedding. She was gone, replaced by this stranger who'd rewritten their vows without a word. He turned, walking toward the stairs, his voice steady despite the rage inside. "If you go through with this, Laura, we're done." She didn't respond, just picked up her phone and started scrolling again, like nothing had happened. That night, as Jake lay in bed, the kid's soft snores echoing down the hall, he stared at the ceiling, his world unraveling. Laura wasn't backing down, and he wasn't bluffing. The life he'd known was over, and the fight for his kids and his sanity was just beginning. The weeks following Laura's bombshell felt like a high-wire act for Jake Rivers. The Oak Park house, once a haven for him, Emma, and Liam, became a minefield of tense silences and sharp exchanges. It was April 2025, and Chicago's spring bloom did nothing to ease the chill between them. Laura pushed forward with her surrogacy plan for her sister Kate and Kate's husband, Tom, as if Jake's objections were background noise. He'd given her an ultimatum that March night. If she went through with it, he was out. She called his bluff, and now he faced a choice he never wanted to make. Jake tried reasoning with her one evening while the kids were at a sleepover. He caught Laura in the kitchen, chopping vegetables for a salad, the knife's rhythm steady despite the storm brewing. "Laura, can we talk?" he started, keeping his tone even. "This is tearing us apart. You're about to flip our lives upside down. Don't I get a say?" She didn't pause, her focus on the cutting board. "It's done, Jake. I'm pregnant. There's nothing to talk about." Her voice was clipped, like she was shutting a door. Jake gripped the counter, his knuckles tight. "You're carrying Tom's kid. You planned this with him for months, and I'm supposed to just accept it? You don't see how that's a betrayal." His voice rose despite his effort to stay calm. Laura slammed the knife down, finally meeting his eyes. "It's not Tom's kid like that. It's a procedure, Jake. A donation. For Kate. You're acting like I cheated." Her glare was defiant, daring him to push back. "You went behind my back," he shot back. "You, Kate, Tom. You cooked this up without a word to me. That's not partnership. That's not marriage." He stepped closer, his voice low but shaking. "You chose them over us." Laura crossed her arms, unflinching. "I'm helping my sister. If you can't handle that, that's your problem." She turned back to her cutting, dismissing him. That was her last real talk about it. Laura doubled down, scheduling doctor visits and texting Kate constantly, treating the pregnancy like a shared project. Jake felt like a ghost in his own home, watching her build a life that excluded him. The confirmation came in June, over breakfast. Laura sipped her coffee, casual as ever, while Liam spilled juice on the table. "It worked," she said, glancing at Jake. "I'm due in January." Emma looked up, confused, but Laura waved it off. "It's for Aunt Kate, sweetie." Jake's jaw tightened. He nodded, said okay, and walked out, grabbing his keys. That afternoon, he met with a divorce lawyer. The papers were drafted in a haze of anger and hurt, but he held off filing, hoping, foolishly, that Laura might reconsider. She didn't. By July, her belly was starting to show, a constant reminder of her choice. Jake tried shielding the kids, keeping their routine steady, school drop-offs, soccer practice, bedtime stories. But Emma, sharp at 9, sensed the rift. "Why is Mom always on the phone with Aunt Kate?" she asked one night, coloring at the kitchen table. Jake forced a smile. "She's helping Aunt Kate with something big, kiddo. Don't worry." But worry gnawed at him. Liam clung to him more, sensing the tension without words. Laura's family piled on. Kate called one evening, her voice dripping with disdain. "You're making this harder than it needs to be, Jake. Laura's doing something beautiful. Why can't you support her?" Jake gripped the phone, biting back a curse. "Support? You three planned this behind my back. Don't talk to me about family." He hung up, but Tom tried next, playing peacemaker. "Man, I get it's tough, but we're in this together. It's a gift for Kate." Jake cut him off. "You deal with it, Tom. I didn't sign up for this." Laura wasn't quiet either. One night, as Jake helped Liam with a puzzle, She stormed in, her voice sharp. "You're so selfish, Jake. I'm doing this for my sister, and you're acting like it's a crime." He looked up calm but cold. "You made a choice without me. That's the crime." She scoffed, storming out, but her words lingered, each one a jab at the life they'd built. By August, Jake filed for divorce. He'd warned her, and she'd ignored him. The papers sat heavy in his desk, a line he never thought he'd cross. When he told Laura, her eyes widened, like she hadn't believed he'd follow through. "You're serious?" she asked, her voice shaking. "You're leaving me over this?" "I told you what would happen," he said, unflinching. "You chose Kate and Tom, not us." The fight exploded from there, voices rising until Emma peeked around the corner, her eyes wide. "Dad, why are you yelling?" Jake's heart sank. He softened, ushering her upstairs. "Just grown-up stuff, Em. Go get ready for bed." But it wasn't just grown-up stuff. It was the end of everything. Illinois law meant a 12-month separation before the divorce could finalize, trapping them under the same roof. Laura stayed, claiming she couldn't move while pregnant. Jake saw it for what it was: convenience. She wanted his stability, his paycheck, while she played hero for Kate. He checked out, retreating to his home office or the garage, anywhere to avoid her. The kids felt it. Emma's questions grew quieter, Liam's hugs tighter. As summer faded, Jake knew this was just the beginning. Laura's plan was unraveling their family, and he needed every ounce of strength to protect Emma and Liam from the fallout. By September 2025, Jake Rivers' Oak Park home was a pressure cooker, the air thick with unspoken resentment. The divorce papers were filed, but Illinois' mandatory 12-month separation kept Jake and Laura under the same roof, a cruel limbo for him, Emma, and Liam. Laura, now 5 months pregnant with her sister Kate's baby, pushed forward with her surrogacy plan, oblivious to the wreckage it left behind. Jake had drawn a line: "Not my kid, not my problem," and held firm, but Laura tested it daily, her requests growing bolder, her guilt tripped sharper. It started small. One humid evening, as Jake helped Emma with her math homework, Laura waddled in, rubbing her stomach. "Jake, can you grab my water bottle from the car? I'm wiped out." He didn't look up from the worksheet. "Get it yourself." Her jaw tightened, but she shuffled off, muttering. The asks escalated: carry groceries, assemble a crib, drive her to a doctor's appointment. Each time, Jake's response was the same: call Tom. He's the father. Laura's frustration boiled over, her sighs and glares filling the house like static. The kids noticed. Emma, 9, stopped asking why Mom was moody, her silence louder than questions. Liam, 6, clung to Jake during bedtime stories, his small hands gripping Jake's arm. "Is Mom okay?" he whispered one night. Jake forced a smile. "She's got a lot going on, bud. We're good." But they weren't. Laura's presence was a constant reminder of her betrayal, and Jake's refusal to bend only widened the rift. Laura tried a new tactic in October, playing nice. During a rare, quiet dinner, she leaned across the table, her voice soft. "Remember when we used to cook together? I miss that, Jake." He kept his eyes on his plate, stirring Liam's macaroni. "That was a different life." She pressed on, undeterred. "We could fix this. I still love you." Jake set his fork down, meeting her gaze. "You love what I gave you, a home, stability. You threw that away for Kate. There's no fixing this." Her face fell, but she didn't cry. Instead, she straightened, her voice cold. "Fine, be that way. You'll regret it when this baby's born." The real twist came one rainy October night. Laura was in the shower, her phone buzzing relentlessly on the kitchen counter. Jake glanced at it. Kate's name flashed, message after message. Curiosity got the better of him. He unlocked it. Her passcode hadn't changed in years, and scrolled. "Sophie, where are you? Tom's freaking out. We need you to sign the surrogacy papers ASAP. This deal's falling apart if you don't." Jake's blood ran cold. Papers? Falling apart? He scrolled up, piecing it together. The surrogacy contract wasn't finalized. Laura was stalling, maybe leveraging it for money or control. Was she playing Kate and Tom, too? He set the phone down, his mind racing. This wasn't just reckless, it was calculated. The next morning, Jake tested the waters. Over coffee, he asked casually, "How's Kate holding up with all this?" Laura stiffened, avoiding his eyes. "She's fine." He pressed. "Thought Tom would be more involved by now." She muttered, "He's busy," and left the room. Jake leaned back, a grim smile tugging at his lips. Her perfect plan was cracking, and she knew it. Laura's desperation grew. One evening, as Jake fixed Liam's bike in the garage, she barged in, her voice trembling. "I can't do this alone, Jake. I'm exhausted, and you're just ignoring me." He wiped his hands on a rag, unfazed. "You've got Kate and Tom." This was their idea. Her eyes welled up. "It's harder than I thought. I need you." Jake tossed the rag aside. "You stop being my wife when you let Tom's kid into our lives. Don't ask me to clean up your mess." She stormed out, tears streaming, but Jake felt nothing. No guilt, no waver. She made her bed. Kate and Tom didn't help. Kate called, her tone venomous. "You're breaking her, Jake. She's pregnant, and you're abandoning her." Jake cut her off. "She abandoned us first. You figured out." Tom tried next, his voice pleading. "Come on, man, we're family. Help us out." Jake's reply was ice. "You wanted this. Deal with it." He blocked their numbers, done with their guilt trips. The kids bore the brunt. Emma's drawings grew darker, stick figures alone under gray skies. Liam asked one night, curled up on the couch, "Why doesn't Mom smile anymore?" Jake hugged him tight. "She's figuring things out, bud. We're okay." But the lie tasted bitter. Laura's choices were a storm, and Jake was the only shield Emma and Liam had. By November, the house felt like a battlefield. Laura's belly grew, her mood swings wilder. She alternated between begging and lashing out, calling Jake heartless one minute, pleading for help the next. He held his ground, retreating to work or the kids' activities to escape her. But the texts he'd seen gnawed at him. Laura wasn't just reckless. She was in deeper than she'd let on, and her plan was unraveling. As winter loomed, Jake knew the worst was yet to come. He'd protect his kids, no matter what, but Laura's next move would decide how far he'd have to go to keep them safe. Winter gripped Chicago by December 2025, blanketing Oak Park in snow, but the real storm raged inside Jake Rivers' home. Laura, 7 months pregnant with her sister Kate's child, was a whirlwind of defiance and desperation. The divorce was filed, but Illinois' 12-month separation rule kept them trapped together, turning their house into a battlefield. Jake had held firm. "Not my kid, not my problem," refusing to bend to Laura's pleas or her family's guilt trips. Emma, 9, and Liam, 6, felt the strain, their questions growing harder, their silences heavier. As Laura's due date loomed, the tension hit a fever pitch. Laura's attempts to pull Jake back intensified. One frigid evening, as he helped Liam build a Lego spaceship, she hovered nearby, rubbing her swollen belly. "Jake, I need help with the grocery bags," she said, her voice strained. He didn't look up, snapping a piece into place. "Call Tom. He's got a stake in this." Laura huffed, storming off, but the requests kept coming. Pick up her vitamins, fix a squeaky stroller wheel, drive her to a checkup. Each time, Jake's answer was a wall. "Not my responsibility." Her frustration spilled over, sharp jabs about his heartlessness echoing through the house. The kids suffer most. Emma stopped sharing her drawings, her once bright sketches now tucked away. Liam clung to Jake during bedtime, whispering, "Is Mom mad at me?" Jake hugged him tight. "No, beude. She's got her own stuff going on. We're a team, okay?" But the words felt hollow. Laura's pregnancy, a constant reminder of her betrayal, cast a shadow over their routine: school runs, soccer games, movie nights. Jake poured himself into keeping things steady, but the cracks were widening. Laura tried tears next. One snowy night, as the kids watched a cartoon, she collapsed onto the couch, sobbing. "I messed up, Jake. I thought I was helping Kate, but it's ruining everything. I still love you." Emma glanced over, eyes wide, and Liam scooted closer to Jake. He muted the TV, his voice low but firm. "Upstairs, guys. I'll be there soon." Alone with Laura, he leaned forward. "Don't do that in front of them. You don't love me. You love the life I gave you. You torched it for Kate. Own it." Her tears stopped, replaced by a glare. "You'll regret this," she spat, storming off. Jake exhaled, unshaken. The turning point came in January 2026. Laura went into labor early, delivering a girl, Amy, handed off to Kate and Tom. She called Jake from the hospital, her voice trembling. "I am scared. Please come." He gripped the phone steady. "You chose this. Call Tom." He hung up, ignoring the pang of guilt. When Laura returned home days later, baby gear littered the house. Bottles on the counter, a diaper bag in the hall, like she was daring him to react. He didn't. She knocked on his office door one night. Amy's cries in the background. "Jake, I haven't slept. Just help me once." He shut the door. "Not my kid." Laura's family doubled down. Kate called, venom in her voice. "She's falling apart because of you. You're cruel." Jake cut her off. "You wanted this baby. Step up." Tom tried pleading. "We're family, man. Don't do this." Jake's reply was cold. "You did this. Fix it." Laura's mother sent a letter, accusing him of abandoning his wife. He tossed it, blocking their numbers. Their noise was irrelevant. His focus was Emma and Liam. Laura's final play came in February. During a visitation drop-off, she lingered by the front door, Amy strapped to her chest. "Let me move back in," she said, her voice soft. "The kids need me here." Jake crossed his arms. "They've got me. You made your choice." She bit her lip, eyes welling, but left without a fight. The divorce hearing loomed, set for March. Jake's lawyer had built a case. Texts proving Laura's secrecy, records of her instability, Jake's steady care for the kids. Laura's lawyer painted her as a saint, sacrificing for family, but Jake's evidence was ironclad. The courtroom was stark, the judge's voice cutting through Laura's last-ditch tears. Full custody to Mr. Rivers. Mrs. Rivers gets visitation. Laura's face crumpled, but Jake felt no triumph, just relief. Outside, she grabbed his arm. "I didn't want this," she whispered. He pulled away. "I'll be there for Emma and Liam. Not you." Laura moved to Kate's that week, her belongings gone in a single trip. The house felt lighter, but the scars lingered. Emma and Liam adjusted slowly. Emma asked, "Why doesn't Amy live with us?" Jake explained, "She's Aunt Kate's daughter, not ours. You and Liam are my team." Liam nodded, clutching his dinosaur toy. Laura's visits were uneven. She showed up, but her energy was drained, her focus split. Jake threw himself into the kids. Art classes for Emma, soccer for Liam, board game nights. Friends noticed the shift. "You're back, man," his buddy Mark said over coffee. Jake nodded. "Getting there." Laura called once, her voice shaky. "Amy's daycare fell through. I can't afford a new one yet." Jake cut her off. "Talk to Kate or Tom. My kids are fine." She hung up, and weeks passed without contact. By March, Jake felt the weight lifting. The chaos was hers now, not his. He wasn't vengeful, just done. The kids laughed again, their world stabilizing. As spring approached, Jake knew the fight wasn't over, but he'd won the first battle. Emma and Liam were his, and Laura's mess was hers to clean. Spring arrived in Chicago by March 2026, the snow melting from Oak Park streets, revealing patches of green beneath. For Jake Rivers, the thaw mirrored his life. The divorce was final, the courtroom ruling still fresh. Full custody of Emma, 9, and Liam, 6, with Laura relegated to scheduled visitations. The house, once a battleground of tension with Laura's surrogacy for her sister Kate's child, felt lighter. Single parenting wasn't easy, juggling his engineering job, school runs, and the kids' needs, but Jake could breathe again. The chaos was gone, and he was determined to keep it that way. Laura had moved to Kate and Tom's in Bucktown after the hearing, taking her belongings and the last traces of her betrayal, a pregnancy plan behind Jake's back. Amy, the baby she'd carried for Kate, was theirs now, and Jake stayed out of it. His mantra, "Not my kid, not my problem," had held firm through months of Laura's pleas, her family's guilt trips, and her attempts to pull him back. When she left that final night in February, baby strapped to her chest, she paused at the door, waiting for him to stop her. He didn't. The calls from Kate, Tom, and Laura's mother stopped too. No more venom, no more fake pleas. Silence was a relief. The kids adjusted, but it wasn't seamless. Emma, sharp and sensitive, asked tough questions. One sunny afternoon, walking home from school, she kicked a stone and looked up at Jake. "Dad, why doesn't Mom live with us anymore? Is it because of Amy?" Jake chose his words carefully, crouching to her level. "Mom made a choice to help Aunt Kate, but it changed things between us. You and Liam are my priority now. We're a team." She nodded, processing, but her quiet lingered. Liam, simpler at 6, clung to routine. "Is Mom coming back?" he asked one night, hugging his stuffed dinosaur. Jake ruffled his hair. "She'll visit Bud, but we've got this, you, me, Emma." Liam smiled, comforted. Laura's visits were sporadic. She showed up every other weekend, per the court, But her energy was off, distracted, worn. During one drop-off, she lingered by the front door, watching Emma and Liam run inside. "They're growing so fast," she said softly. Jake nodded, neutral. "Yeah, they are." She hesitated, then tried again. "I miss this, Jake. Us." He crossed his arms, shutting it down. "Focus on the kids, Laura. That's what matters." She bit her lip and left. It became a pattern, brief nostalgia, quickly snuffed out. Jake wasn't cruel, just done. Life settled into a rhythm. Jake threw himself into the kids' world, signing Emma up for art classes, where her sketches bloomed with color again, and coaching Liam's soccer team, cheering his clumsy goals. Board game nights became sacred, laughter filling the house. Work steadied too. His engineering projects, once a distraction, now grounded him. Friends noticed the change. "You look alive again," his buddy Mark said over beers one night. Jake grinned. "Feel it too. First time in years, I'm not carrying someone else's weight." Laura's shadow lingered, though. In April, she called out of the blue, her voice shaky. "Jake, I need help. Amy's daycare fell through, and I'm drowning at work." He leaned against the kitchen counter, unmoved. "Talk to Kate or Tom. My kids are fine." She laughed bitterly. "They're useless right now. I thought you'd care." Jake's voice was calm but firm. "I care about Emma and Liam. You figure out your mess." She hung up, and weeks passed without contact. At the next visitation, Laura looked drained, thinner. Dropping off the kids, she muttered, "I'm sorry, Jake, for everything." He nodded, keeping it short. "Hope it works out." No anger, no gloating, just closure. The kids mentioned Amy sometimes. "She's like our cousin, right?" Emma asked, coloring at the table. "Yeah, kind of," Jake said. Liam piped up. "Mom showed us her picture. She's cute." Jake smiled faintly. "Good. I'm glad she's okay." He meant it. Amy wasn't the issue. Laura's choices were. Kate and Tom stayed quiet, their drama no longer Jake's problem. Maybe they'd moved on, or maybe they'd accepted he wasn't their punching bag. By May, the house felt like home again. Jake repainted the living room, bright blue, Emma's choice, erasing the last echoes of Laura's presence. The kids thrived, their laughter louder, their questions softer. Emma's art covered the fridge. Liam's soccer trophy sat proudly on a shelf. One night, as the kids slept, Jake sat on the porch, Chicago's skyline humming in the distance. The weight of the past year, Laura's secrecy, the fights, the courtroom, lifted. Single parenting had rough days. Emma's occasional mood swings, Liam's quiet longing for mom, the bills stacking up. But it was his life now, not Laura's to dictate. He thought of her last plea, her tears, and felt nothing. No regret, no guilt, just peace. Under the stars, he muttered, "I made it." Emma and Liam were safe, the chaos gone. Spring had brought a new beginning, one Jake would fight to keep.